Welcome back to exploring our secret past. This week we are joined by a returning guest. And before I bring her on, let's bring back Carla, who is back from being absent.
I was on vacation.
So, how's it going, Carla?
Doing good. Visited family. Had a great time.
Welcome back.
Thank
And
you.
I am so excited because this is Carla's first time on the show with our returning guest, and so I am super excited to see what comes of that. And so, without further ado, let's bring back our favorite guest, Kathrine
Yay.
Sorilos.
Hi guys, hi. It's nice and early here in Greece, so hope everyone is well.
We appreciate you getting up so early for us.
Yes.
That's okay. Anything for friends.
Oh,
So, how are things in Greece right now? With anything going on with you paranormal in Greece?
Well, it's first of all, it's really cold and it's raining. We've got our Christmas decorations up,
yay.
Yeah. At the moment, I just got back because last time we spoke, I was in Alabama. So I got back in October, and trying to get back into my routine, and you know, back home, getting everything organized, the kids, the school, the house. I've got my own radio show. It's called Paranormal Activity. It's actually on a radio studio, so it talks about the paranormal activity and introduces all paranormal investigators, locations from all over the world. So, and what I do is I interview different paranormal investigators from all over the world in English, and then I play the video into the studio, into the broadcast studio, and I translate it in Greek, and I introduce the way people investigate worldwide,
That's amazing.
and different locations as well. So yeah, so
That's
Wow,
it's like
that is
it's
super
bringing
cool.
it's bringing it's bringing. Sorry guys, it's bringing America, Australia, England. It's like bringing that into your home, into the Greek home.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is super. Wow.
it's good. It's good.
So that's
So
exciting because last time we spoke, that hadn't happened yet. So congratulations from our
no,
show.
no. Thank you, and I will love to have you guys on there as well. So it'll be good.
Thank you very
Oh, we
much.
look
Love
forward to
to.
it.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome. What else have I been doing? Oh, and actually, I'm getting my shop ready as well. It'll be open in a couple of weeks. It's called Oracle Whispered, where I'll be doing readings. Um, I'll be doing like everything that I do. My readings, my cleansings, my mediumship, my holistic therapies. So yeah, I'm opening up my own little shop here in Greece.
Excellent.
Wow, that
Yeah,
is cool.
Do
yeah, it's good.
you do you just do them in person, or do you have a way to set up appointments where people could call you to do?
I both. I can have people that call and book an appointment and come into the shop, or I can do it over the phone, um, over the internet.
Sure.
So yeah, because I'll be doing like some things you can't do over the phone, you can't do over the internet, like clinical hypnotherapy. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist.
Right.
So when you do a past life regression or you do a regression for this life, you can't have the patient sitting over the phone or over the camera. You got to be there and monitor them, right? So because I usually with clinical hypnotherapy, you interact with people that are bipolar, they might be schizophrenic, they might have a lot of mental issues. So you
Mhm.
can't do a session over the internet and over the phone. So they usually come inside the office.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
So it's
true
gonna be like,
because
yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say that's true because when I did a couple of past life regressions or like techniques of getting in touch with your inner child, it was like if the internet dropped and you're stuck in the past, it's like
Oh,
Oops.
reconnecting, get back to present.
reconnecting, reconnecting.
It's like, wait a
Come back,
minute,
come back.
Oh
because
my
people don't
gosh.
realize this. You're actually in a trance state, so you don't
You are.
realize you're not in the present, and so
Exactly.
yeah, it's really important to not, do it over the
Stay there.
internet with sketchy service.
Oh, true that. I mean, you know what? I was doing a past life regression on my husband one day, and that's a good point. About having the way you said it, Michael. Even when you have patients that you're doing a past life regression on them, they sometimes like being where they are. Like my husband, I had a hell of a time getting him out from where he was. He really liked it there, and I was like, "No, you come back. You come back."
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
So no.
yeah, it is funny because there are like as much as people complain about their past and everything, there are those moments that you treasure, and it's like if you touch on that, it's like, yeah, why would I want to leave this moment? I'm like
Exactly.
feeling what I want to feel, feeling everything like in the perfect harmonious state, and it's like, don't
Hmm.
pull me out of this.
Yeah.
I
Like
know.
this is
I
what I
know.
want.
Exactly. Exactly. But no, I love past life regression. Actually, it's been done on me once only. When I did my theory and my practice, my professor did it only once on me, um, and I'm a bit jealous when I do it on other people, and I can see all these lies, and I'm like, well, I've only done it once. Come on, I need somebody to do it on me again.
Yeah.
Well, I like to
Because
think of it as you're going down with them, you are doing it too. So I'd
yeah,
like to
I
think
am.
you get some of it out of it.
Yeah, I do. I like you connect the actual person. It's really good because um, as a psychic medium, it's an advantage because I connect with my patients. I connect with the person at that point, so I'm actually living what they're living, and it is bloody awesome. I love it. But I want to do mine again.
I'm sitting here taking notes.
Uh-huh.
So I have a question for you that I think Carla is dying to ask, and I think I might be jumping the gun on her on it.
Oops.
What's your theories on past lives? And how do you know when you're experiencing past life?
What's my theories on past life? Okay. I believe in past life. There's a lot of religions that don't believe in past life, or actually, they a lot of like for instance, the Greek Orthodox people, right? At one point, as a religion, as the Greeks believed in past life, right? That we come back and we reincarnate, etc. But apparently, one of the kings, I think Eocene, the king. We're going back centuries now, because somebody told him in a past life he was a dog. He didn't like that, so he put up a rule and said Greek Orthodox do not believe in past life regression. So that was he didn't like it, so he stopped believing. It was a rule. It was a rule, so it stayed in the religion. But a lot of Buddhists, in Hindus, the Buddhists, they do believe in you get reincarnated, and yes, you do get reincarnated. It because it is really funny how you just say you walk past a place, okay, and that you've never been in your life, and all of a sudden you feel so connected, or you meet people that you feel so reconnected with, or deja vu,
Mhm.
or you do things that you've never done before. How can I explain it? Every time you're born out there, in another grave, essentially though, lies your body. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
In a grave out there somewhere, your bones lie down there. Your bones, your body. That was your body. That was your DNA. So your soul jumped from that life into this life. So of course, that's why I always say that our psychic abilities are imprinted in our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
All our psychic abilities from generations and generations and lives, and going back and back and back to the first ever life that you were born into with your higher self.
So how do you know, how would someone know whether they even had a past life or not?
Well, sometimes you can see different weird dreams. How many times have you guys seen weird dreams, or seen people in your dreams that you've never known?
A lot.
So you're a lot, exactly. So you're either connecting in a past life, or actually connecting into another dimension, a parallel dimension, if that makes sense. So, how do you know? What was your question? How do you know if you've
How
lived
do
a
you
past
know
life?
if you've had a past life?
Okay, there's well, first of all, you can do it through hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a person that a clinical hypnotherapist that can do past life regression on you, and that's when you actually see your past lives. There is times where people have done past life regressions and they haven't seen anything.
So that means that they haven't had one.
They haven't had one,
Right. Okay.
which is very, very rare, because it's really it's very rare for a new soul to be born. It happens, but it's very rare. So what you will see sometimes is, like, I've had people, when I did past life regression on them, that not all of them have lived lives here on this earth, on our earth. They've lived in different planets.
Really?
Like the first ever life, or different kind of lives, but in different planets. Like, for instance, when I did my husband, he was describing me his first ever life. He was a warrior in a planet where there were 2 moons around, and everything was built upside down, because if you were to walk on the planet, you will burn. And the way he was talking to his higher self, or his spirit guide, that's what it calls. Usually your spirit guide or your higher self, you connect with your higher self when you do past life regression. She would speak to him telepathically. His guide would speak to him telepathically, not by, but there was, like, the mouth was closed. There was no mouth.
Well, that's interesting.
It is. I've had
Wow.
people like that. I've had people live in the ages of the dinosaurs.
Really?
And when I asked her, I said, "Oh, you must be kidding me." When she was under the hypnosis, and she was actually telling me, I thought, she must be kidding me. She must be pulling my leg. There's no way she's living in the time of the dinosaurs. And I was asking her, I said, how close are you to the dinosaurs? No, she said to me, we're 3 days away. By, walking distance to where the dinosaurs were, it was a 3-day walk.
Wow.
So I thought, okay, she's not lying. She's actually saying the truth. And her name, she was a real good friend. I haven't spoken to her for ages. And she was a real person that always liked to be beautiful, like have her hair done, her nails and everything. And she could see herself in those days, like the dinosaur days. And she goes, "Oh my God," she's like, "Look ugly. My teeth are rotten. My hair is all over the place." And you actually,
I need a toothbrush.
I need a comb. I need makeup.
and I was like, That's the lesson you learned, was Belinda said to her. That's her name. I said, that's the lesson you learned. I said,
Oh my gosh.
you know, that not everything is beauty in this life. You know what I mean?
Well, beauty was different terms per generation. We grow up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But she was always like, she relaxed on that part a little bit, and that's why
Wow.
the reason why you do past life regression for me, right, is to be able to. A lot of people do it for curiosity reasons. I believe it's to do for like for me, it's for medical reasons as well, but to actually find out why are things happening in this life. Why is this life the way it's flowing? What's going on? What can you fix? What can you change? You know how they say when you're born, you actually sign your own contract before you're born, your own blueprint.
Mhm.
Right.
That's what a past life regression does. It takes you back into your blueprint.
Wow. Do you
It is
record?
awesome.
Do you record
Yes,
your sessions?
yes, I do. I do.
Wow.
I record them and I give them to my patients.
Yeah.
My clients' patients, yeah. So they
Wow.
take them home with them.
It's amazing.
I think Carla's
It is.
wanting to sign up for one.
I'll take the next plane out.
Take the next plane out. Or if I do end up coming back to America for a holiday, I'm telling you, I'll come and do a session for you.
Aw.
It's
So,
awesome. I love it.
yeah. I'm just going to interrupt for a second. Liz Milne says, "Hi, Kathrine Sorilos."
Hi, Liz. How are you, hon?
And she also says hi to Donna Cecil Hartlow. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. So it looks like we might have more people in the chat than we're seeing. So,
Yeah, I
but
can't see the I
Four.
can't see the I can't see the chat. So because I'm through I'm through the YouTube. So what I'll do is I'll grab my husband's phone and jump on the chat.
oh well, Donna just popped in to say hi.
Hi Donna, how are you?
Now that she's been called out.
Yeah, didn't mean to call anybody out for hiding,
Oh my God.
but
Okay.
yeah, another one. Joshua popped in to say hello to everyone.
Oh Joshua, hi Josh.
And Donna, I'm so glad I pronounced that right because, yeah, I hear a lot of times names mispronounced, and I'm always like, ooh.
Beg for
So I try
forgiveness.
my best. So, one question I have for you, Kathrine, I don't think we touched on the last time you were on. How do you
Mm-hmm.
prepare for these sessions? Like, what do you do for yourself to prepare to go into that space?
Me or the patient?
Both.
Okay. Um, Other chemical hypnotherapists will not do that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But being a psychic medium, I would like to cleanse my space before and after. Because you always, even if you go into a trance, the patient and yourself, connecting. Myself, I don't go into a trance, but I connect with the person who's um, under the doing the clinical session, right? So what I do is I cleanse my space. I like to have it cleansed because they will leave their energy behind. You open up a gateway. You do.
So
You're
you want to
opening
make
up
sure
another
that
dimension.
you're not keeping something there in the space
Exactly.
once you've
And
opened
nothing's and
and make it
nothing's
move
jumped
on.
through. Exactly. And nothing's jumped through, or you haven't bought anything back, because there has
Right.
been rare occasions where people have brought back things with them from their past lives.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you a story. She actually didn't bring things from her past life. She actually used to travel to other dimensions, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I usually cleanse my space. Being a psychic medium helps that a lot for me. That's what I do. I cleanse my space before and after myself, and I tell my clients as well that I want you guys, not to have eaten anything heavy for the whole day. I want you to eat something light because I've had people that might have gotten sick, felt sick, crying because you're actually feeling everything, everything. Like if you're burning or if you're drowning, you actually feel it.
Ugh.
If you're getting stabbed, the patient being under the hypnosis, and you yourself who's doing the hypnosis, especially if you're a trance medium, you will actually feel what they are feeling. Not to the degree that they're feeling it, but you will feel it. So
Do you have to? Have
that's
you
what
ever
I.
had to bring? I'm sorry. Did you have
Yep.
you ever
Sorry.
had to bring somebody
Yes.
out of the hypnosis because they
Yep.
were?
I had.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it, so I had to bring them out, and then they wanted to go back straight away, and I'm like, no, 21 days. There's going to be a 21-day gap, and then we can go back in again.
Wow.
What's the
Because they were
significance of
actually
21 days?
you're giving it's like you know how you do with Reiki. I don't know if you've heard it with Reiki. You do like a 21-day gap when you're learning Reiki or when you're doing Reiki on someone. Is the process of healing. It takes 21 days for you to heal.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
No, it's good. It's good. It's like you're giving your body time to heal. So it takes 3 weeks, 21 days for it to heal.
So
Your
you're
mind,
not
your
going.
body, the soul, everything.
Yeah. So you're not going right back into the trauma.
No. And
Right.
the thing is, when you do a past life regression, even if when you wake up and you come out of it because you're in the REM state, when you come out of your session, right, you're still actually living things from your past lives. You're actually bringing little bits of it back with you, just little bits, right, which help you understand things and change things. So every day you're seeing things, you're open, so you're seeing things, you're understanding why you saw that, what can you change, and everything starts making sense in this life.
Ah.
Yeah.
I could see why you'd want to do it.
And one of the
Just
things
for
I
the
loved
understanding.
one of the things I loved in doing it was when you learned something from it and like you go, oh, so that's why I do this now in this life and this and these patterns.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That you actually can see the change in you of the way you respond to it changes, and you're like, wait, what happened? Why am I not responding the same way? Because you altered the past
Exactly.
without having to truly see it. That's what I always
Yep.
found was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, no, it's amazing. It's an experience. If people ask me, I will be like, do it. At least once in your life, do it.
Yeah.
You get addicted to it. Like it's only been done on me once because, like I said before, my professor, I had to do my practice and my theory. So they, each student had to do it to each other. So I only saw 3 of my lives, which made perfect sense in this life and the people that I had known in that life. And at that point of my life. So it was awesome. And I wish I could do it again. And sometimes I get jealous that I can do it to my clients and patients, and I can't do it to myself because it's just
So, one
good.
thing I'm going to ask Kathrine is, last time you were on the show, you talked to me about an experience I had and filled in a huge chunk and brought clarity like no other to that experience. What about Carla? Do you see anything like that with Carla where you see an experience that you feel like there's something coming to you?
No, Carla's actually, she switches off really easily. Don't you, Carla?
Switches off.
You switch off, I would say, your emotions, or you switch off for people to be able to see through you. You put up a barrier for
Yes.
different reasons.
Yep. Spot on.
And there's I know. And there's a lot of things inside you that you've kept inside you that you don't want to talk about. And I'm not going to bring them up in the air at the moment. So that's something we can do on our own.
Thank you.
And, yep. And no crying here, please.
No.
No, she's got a lot of emotions in her. That's all I can say. That's it.
Thank you.
So, Carla, Liz is saying hi to you.
Hey, Liz.
And so, do you have any other questions about that, Carla?
About I mean, she was spot on. I'm very guarded. She started to say something. Yes.
Yeah, watch it. 'Cause you can turn the switch real quick.
Huh?
I said you can turn the switch real quick, and she'll.
No, Carla is the person that does, even from a young age, she didn't like to talk about herself.
What?
She didn't want to be, you know, even at school, she had a low profile. Even at high school, even when she was a kid, she tried to have a low profile and not be seen like everybody else was.
And look at you now on a podcast show.
And still, she's very shy, even on a podcast show. She's like timid and very shy and to herself. You can see it.
Shy is a word I've never heard.
Yeah.
There's different levels of shyness.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you, Michael.
I actually have a shy nature, if you could believe that.
I do. I believe it. I do believe it. You do. Even when you do your podcast, yeah, I can see. Even when he does his podcast, he's there. He's out there. He's on the show, but you can feel the shyness around him.
Yeah, I'm always careful what I say. Hi, Liz.
Mm-hmm. I can't see comments because I'm trying to log on to my husband's, but okay.
That's okay. When they come for you, I'll show them on the screen. And
yeah.
Okay.
I'll pull them up for you.
It's one of my hostly duties.
Hostly?
I'm the host. You're co-hosting. That's what we do, is bring the comments up for everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
I'm well known for creating words out of thin air. Like,
yep.
It drives my mother nuts when I say it's not rocket science tree. And she says it's not a word. I said, yes, it is.
It's my word, Mom.
That's right. It's Michael's word.
Exactly.
So,
oh my God.
If Carla, you have no other questions about the past lives or anything,
well,
I'll go ahead.
The reason I'm so intrigued is because I don't remember ever, like, when you were describing people that may go somewhere and then all of a sudden think that, like, a deja vu type thing. I don't remember having that, but the thing I do remember is that there was an instance where I was in a town I'd never been in and decided to go through a museum to understand the history. And I was stopped dead in my tracks from a photograph of a little girl. and I couldn't get it out of my head. And the little girl looked like me.
There you go.
And I was
So
just,
what era?
I couldn't, I took it to the museum owner and I said, "Who is this? Who is this?" And they said it was just a donation to the museum from long ago. It was a old picture. And I said, "There's something about this little girl." And then I couldn't think of anything else the rest of the trip.
She showed it to me,
Okay,
Catherine. It could be 1800s, 1900s.
that's what I was
So
wondering.
And I
it,
have a picture. I put the black and white picture of the little girl next to a colored picture and a black and white picture of me, and they look like the same child.
it
So
is.
that could be,
It,
that's you, or it could be one of your ancestors.
It was
Or
just one of those things where it stopped me dead in my tracks. I'd never had an experience like that before, but it was just,
mm-hmm.
man, I
just
wish
It
we
could
never
be
had the
know.
picture
you.
to put up on the
I
screen.
bel
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have. Have you got a picture of it? But I do believe that that's you.
Um, yeah, it may take a while to find it.
Yeah, you can.
So
Okay.
while she's looking for
Now,
that,
the other story I was telling you.
yeah,
No, go ahead.
go ahead.
The story which I was
I'm
telling
looking
you
for a
between
picture.
the clinical hypnosis about people jumping into other dimensions and bringing things back with them.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, I had a friend. No, she was actually an acquaintance which I met a few years ago. She used to astral travel a lot, and we're talking about it, and then she opened up and told me that she travels into places that are out of our planet, to other dimensions, other planets. And she one day she brought with her back. She was shaken, awoken really like sudden. So at that moment, she was telling me she was smelling a flower into the other dimension that she was in. So because she was jolted to get up, she pulled that flower with her and brought it into our dimension, actually. And I said, yeah, right. I didn't believe it at the beginning. And she actually showed me a photo. And she actually showed me a photo of how it was and how it became. Like when she brought it back, she took a photo of it because she was shocked. And then all of a sudden, a few minutes later, seconds later, it just went and vanished into like dust.
Really?
hmm So I said, I want that photo because it was a flower I have never seen. It was so weird. It was like, it was big and it had these white, thick petals like this. And like the inside, the core of the flower was blue. It was like a luminous blue. I've never seen that before in my life. It's not a
Yeah.
flower you see here in our planet. And she actually showed me the before and after photo where it just became like charcoal, like dust, like how you cremate things. That's what it looked
Right.
like. It was all burnt up. So I said, I want that photo. And it's really funny because she would send me the photo and the photo in my phone. She will send it through Bluetooth or photo. She'll send me the photo and then the photo in my phone will disappear. It'll be intact in her phone. In my phone, it will disappear.
So yeah, I view those moments as spirit. It's not meant for you, so spirit's not allowing you to have it. That
Yeah,
it's meant for
it was.
her.
It was exactly. It was hers. So
And one thing I was going to mention is because I've done astral travel myself, is what people don't realize is yes, you're out of your body in a dream state, but yes, you can still get hurt. And there
true.
were times that I've woken up with blood on a pillow or on a sheet with no cuts to my body. And I'm like, okay. And there'll be a bruise on the inside of my arm or something. And I'm like, well, I must have been fighting in the astral because I got no wounds on me right now. And so you really can get seriously
Oh
hurt
yeah.
if you're not careful what you're doing.
It's true. You know how you get a lot of people, you know how they say they wake up, oh, they've got um, scratches or bruises, and everybody goes, oh my God, it's demonic, it's demonic. No, guys, it's not just demonic. You know, it's not, and not everything is demonic. Not everything
Right.
is, you know, you're fighting with the demons, you know. You're actually astral traveling. You're actually fighting into another dimension. You know, so it is going to be imprinted in your physical body because it's imprinted on your spiritual body, on your soul. So whatever's happening in your spiritual, your etheric body into another dimension, of course you're going to bring it back into your physical body because your soul comes back in, your etheric body comes back in. So it's going to be imprinted. It's going to come up in your physical body.
Yeah.
Socrates used to say that if the mind is sound, the body is sound. So if the soul, because the mind is, you know, a soul, so if that's sound, the whole body's sound. So if that's healthy, if your soul is not going through your consciousness, your higher consciousness, which is connected to your etheric body, all that is all connected. So you can jump into other dimensions and other planets or other spaces. If that's not healthy, or if it's been hit, or you've got into a fight, because it is a spiritual warfare out there. If that's been hurt, it will be shown onto your physical body.
Wow.
Now, one thing you'll appreciate, Catherine, when you were saying your husband didn't want to come back and you had to force him back. I was spending so much time in the ethereal astral traveling that they actually told me I was banned for like 3 months from astral traveling because I needed to ground myself here and be
Yep.
present here. So I actually got kicked out of the astral plane.
That's like getting kicked out of a bar.
Exactly. He was enjoying himself too much.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I was like, it's hard to come back because it's like I have all
Yeah.
because I have the uniqueness of having memories of what I've done on the astral, and so it's like I remember being able to like step in the speed of a thought to another place, and it's like I catch myself and going, oh yeah, I can't do that here, not yet. I'm like I gotta travel the slow way here.
You know, it's pretty amazing what Michael's saying, because I don't know about you guys, but I do astral traveling cautiously now. I'm at that point, like Michael. That feeling when you break free from the physical body, it is unbelievable. You know, when you're actually, I don't know if you guys have ever felt it when you're astral traveling. When you're breaking free from the physical body, it is like this thing goes getting sucked out, and then you can feel your physical body trying to suck you back in, and you're separating. You're actually separating from your body. It is unbelievable. And then if you can, I've actually felt myself floating away from my body. It's an immaculate feeling.
Wow.
Uh,
That's crazy.
At the time where it happens, when it actually happens, oh my God. And then you go off into different places.
Yeah. I was fortunate with my parents. We met the gentleman who created the Trinity table. It's a metaphysical device to help the body go into astral and the mind to let go. And I could sense when I was on the table, like he was watching, like what was going on somewhat. And so I started having fun with him of going off planet, off universe, and, other dimensions. And he would always, when it was done, say, I could travel with you and keep track of you to this point, and then you would just disappear. And I was like, yes, I've learned to disappear.
From the face of the earth, see?
Yes. But I also found it was interesting that I could feel, even though I wasn't attached to my body, I could feel someone watching me.
Yeah,
that
you
I
do.
could tell
You do.
somebody was following me, even though I'm pure energy, that I could still sense that.
Yeah, that's true because it is good. For my opinion, is when you do your first. If you're going to do it consciously, your first astral traveling, because every night we astral travel unconsciously, right? So we do it, like it or not. We all travel every night. That's why when sometimes you wake up in the morning and your whole body hurts, you're like, oh my God, I didn't sleep well. What the hell? You know what I mean? Why is my whole body? It's like you've been bashed or been working all night. That's because you're out there doing something. You're in another dimension, doing something, either helping, fighting, doing something else, healing. And the thing is, when you're actually wanting to do it consciously and astral travel consciously, it is good to have somebody to watch over you when you go and you come back.
Wow.
Yeah, because those landings can be really painful if somebody
Yeah,
wakes you up and you're not in body. That is the worst feeling ever.
it is. It is.
Mm.
It is.
It's like
It is.
somebody
Trust
took
me, it is.
cement blocks and just slapped them against you. And was like, okay, you're awake now. It's like,
Nah.
yes, yes, I
Exactly.
am. It hurts like hell, but yes, I'm here. What do you want?
It does.
I found
I'm
the
back.
picture. I found the picture.
They found what? Oh, you found the picture? Yes, please.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
I can do you. There we go.
Trying to get it so the light's not hitting it.
All right, Carla. What do you get when you saw that picture? What emotions did you get? Because I got full on emotions at the moment. I can tell you. I can describe the life of that little girl in a second.
Really?
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was um I was just stunned. I mean, like speechless, stunned. And then that's when I grabbed the frame and I was just like, I, I don't even know. There's no words. I was just like,
Okay.
there was just a draw. Like, this is me. It's part of me. It's part of my family. It's another child that I should have had. I don't know what it was, but it's the
Did
draw.
you find out the history about that child, or you never did?
I'm sorry.
Did you find out the history about that child, or you never did? No. Okay. The child came from a very abusive family, a very hard father, that would hit his wife. He loved his children, but he was a hardworking man, and he used to drink a lot, and he used to abuse his wife and his children, right? I'm worried that little child, and I don't know how much this is all connecting into your life as well. This little child was molested when she was young. She was a frightened little child. She had polio, so she was one of her legs. Either she was wearing braces at one point, or she had some issues with her legs, like the legs. She was limping, and she died at a very young age. Like, she didn't end up having children. She didn't end up living the life that she was supposed to. She died at, I'm thinking, the age of 16 from a yellow, is it like a fever, like a yellow fever, or like a really bad fever, like she died.
Okay.
And you can see in her eyes that she always wanted to smile and be happy. All she wanted was to be a happy child, but she was a very frightened child.
Okay.
So I don't know if you felt any of those emotions when you picked up the photo.
I didn't feel.
And I'm picking up the name Emily and Grace. I don't know why.
So both those
Sorry.
names are my grandmother's and my great grandmother's names.
One second. 'Cause-
Sorry.
So
Oh, can't hear you.
yeah, my Bluetooth just died.
Oh. It's like, hold that thought.
It's dead.
It's
It
like,
went
wait a minute.
disconnected.
It's like you're dropping a name that she's been looking for. I'm like, wait, don't go quiet now.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Give me a second, guys, because my daughter just woke up and she's actually sending me a message from her bedroom, like, can I not go to school today? Give me a second.
okay.
1 second. I'll be back. 1 second.
So, Carla, did I not tell you?
It's pretty dang interesting. I wish there was a way I could learn about this child, though. It's going to drive me nuts.
Well, now at least you have 2 names to go by.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to write it down. I was like, Carla, don't forget to write this down.
Oh, I've been taking notes throughout the whole thing.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry. She just woke up and she's like, Mom, I've got a headache. I'm not feeling very well. Can I not go to school? And I'm like, okay.
aw.
Oh man, wish I had that as my mother.
No, me too. You know, I was like, get up, go to school.
So this is. Can you switch it there? Um.
Oh my
There you
God. Oh my God, Carla. Oh my God, Carla. That's exactly you. That's you.
So
That's you.
you said Emily Grace,
Yes.
and I was just telling you that that was the middle name of my great grandmother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for all the people watching, I didn't even know that, so there's no way I could have fed that to Kathrine.
The
I didn't even
disclaimer
know.
comes out.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know that this thing existed. This photo that Carla had this experience.
Well, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
It gives
I don't
me
know how connected you are to everything that I just described about the little girl, but
I
it's
think it connects to my ancestors, what they
exactly,
went through,
exactly.
because that you described fits them.
Okay, there you go.
Wow.
That is one of your ancestors, baby.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you
You're
very
welcome. I know it was a riddle for you. You know, you had it in your mind all the time and you wanted to find out, and no one could give you the answers, but there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anytime.
So, I think switching over, Donna, I'm thinking has a question, or I'm not quite sure. She says, I'm in Massachusetts, America, US, and I have a friend in Scotland. When she is frightened at night, she calls for me. Another is my grandson calling me at night, also right before his open heart surgery at 4.
Okay, yeah, I've spoken to Donna before, and she's got gifts, and she's always had gifts, and they were switched off at one point, and now she's reopening up herself into and reconnecting with her gifts, and that's why she's actually putting it out there that she's getting this, and she's getting her friend calling her, and her grandson calling out for her, because it is connected by blood. It's her grandchild, it's connected by blood, and that's why there's a connection there as well. So yeah, her gifts are opening up to the people that she's emotionally connected to.
Very cool.
Wow.
So Reflections of the Paranormal says hello everyone, and Liz
Hello.
says I hope your child gets better, Catherine.
Thanks, Liz. I think it's just an excuse not to go to school.
And Donna,
I remember those days.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Donna said she was talking about astro projecting.
Yes. Yeah. Astral projection. Yeah, but she's actually connecting as well. So.
That's cool.
I
So,
have, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Michael had educated me a little bit on some of your history, but have you worked or do you work with children that have gifts?
Yes, I
Can
do.
you talk a little bit about that?
Of course, I can. First of all, my children have got gifts as well. So actually, they were in the American Paranormal magazine. I was
Nice.
at the Alabama Spirit, Alabama. So let me just that's me there, and let me just show you the junior team. Okay, that's there. Where is it? No. There you go. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and there's my one daughter, Ippoliti, the one that's sick at the moment, that's acting sick. And there's the nine.
Well, now everyone knows.
Yeah, you might be getting a call from the school now.
Yeah.
Probably.
She's like, the
Oh
cat's
my
out of the
gosh.
bag if they're watching this show.
Yeah, well, she can't fool her psychic mummy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's got to
Oh
be
my gosh.
interesting. Going
Actually,
for
someone
your
said that to
husband
my
and
husband.
your kids.
Yeah, my husband. Actually, someone said that to my husband. They're like, "You can't get away with murder." He goes, "No, no, I can't do shit."
I can't plan it. I can't.
Yeah.
He can't.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, um, when you're young, we all have been, young, and there's a lot of people that haven't had parents that help them or try to hide them from their gifts or try to suppress their gifts or say, oh my God, that's the devil things, in the olden days, that's what they used to say, that's the devil things. And there's parents that still say that, or they take you to the church and say, you got to repent or you got to, you got to confess, those are gifts. These children have got special gifts. We all, don't frighten your children
Mhm.
by saying it's bad. Be next to them, help them, educate them. If you can't educate them, get somebody else that can. Because if you're going to start compressing those gifts to those children from that age, you will cause a lot of issues. You'll cause a lot of anger. You will cause a lot of spitefulness. You will cause a lot of mental issues to those children. Like I remember my parents, and it's really funny because my parents both were very gifted. But because they were influenced by one of my mum's uncles, I used to write with my left hand, right? And I remember even younger than my daughter, I was 5, 6, and I still got images of that in my mind. My uncle will come and smack my left hand, and say, no, don't write with your left hand. The left hand is the devil hand. Write with your right hand. Okay, so, and then they made my parents do that as well. So
I'm just curious, do you know where that started from?
I never knew. Because the left side is the devil's side, and the right side is God's side. It comes from the Bible.
Oh.
So that's where, and I still write with both hands. A lot of people that write with the left hand, they are very, it's like you can actually separate your mind into two, like your left side and your right side. So, see, that's just a small example of what parents used to do in those days. And not actually, or if they talk about paranormal things, it was always hush, hush, hush.
Mhm.
Even now, you get a lot of parents that in some parts of the world,
that if your child sees things, or because children see things from a very young age. How many times have you catch a baby looking at the ceiling and talking to somebody or laughing, or a 4-year-old actually holding up a conversation with an empty chair? That child is actually seeing things, and if you try to stop it and cut off what they're seeing and what they're doing, you're actually going to get a child that's going to be, chuck a tantrum or close up to itself. I'm not saying leave the child free. Okay, talk to your child. Communicate with your child. Ask it, what are you seeing? What is there? Can I participate with it? Can I talk to whatever is there? So it could be just an imaginary friend, or it could be actually a spirit.
That kind of makes you wonder, though, all this time, like decades ago, of people saying, oh, my child has an imaginary friend, and it was just accepted as that. But now that I've been in the paranormal a while, I keep reflecting, thinking how much of that was really an imaginary child and not a spirit.
Yeah. Exactly. And how much did that spirit influence your child?
That's right. Yeah.
So you got to connect with your child. You're going to connect with what it's seeing, or else it could. Like I had an example of my daughter, the one that's apparently sick at the moment. She got very jealous when my youngest daughter was born, because they only had 23 months apart. So she got a bit jealous. So she closed up to herself. Spirit found a way, because she's very spiritual. Okay, she's very gifted. She's a psychic medium as well. And my other daughter sees the dark side. The 9, my youngest one, she's a psychic as well, but she sees the gory parts of things and the dark side of how they died. And she, Now Ippoliti, that's the oldest. She's an empath, so she's very open to everything. And when she was young, she got very, very jealous of her younger sister, being a baby, blah, blah, blah. You know how children are when they have newborns in the house. So she got very, very jealous of it. And we had a mirror in her room. And with her abilities, she opened up a portal. So whatever was coming from the mirror was very dark and was telling her to do things. She closed up to herself. She would go and sit in a room on her own. And every time, and she'll talk to in her room in front of the mirror. I would go in there and she'll stop talking. She'll wake up in the middle of the night and I will find her standing in front of the mirror in a trance, talking to the mirror, to the point where the thing in the mirror was telling her to kill her sister.
Oh, no.
And so I found her a couple of times with a pillow on top of her sister. That thing was telling her that your mommy doesn't love you anymore. She doesn't want you anymore. You got to kill your sister. So that thing that was coming through the mirror, through the portal, wanted a soul, wanted blood.
Right.
That's how dark it was. And I thought, see, if I wasn't a psychic medium and if I would have left it like that, what would have happened to my children?
That's right. Yep.
So even if you're not a psychic medium, educate your children. Ask somebody that knows.
Yeah.
So
talk to your child. What happened to the mirror? Yeah, no, that's a good point. I knew as soon as I got into the mirror and I saw that thing, I asked my daughter, I said, I caught her at that point with the pillow. And I said, honey, why? She goes, I said, she couldn't remember what she was doing. She was under a trance. And I said, honey, why? She goes, the man in the mirror. I said, and I've actually got an article of that, the man in the mirror, where I've described the whole story. It's called it's actually called The Man in the Mirror. And she told me, and she goes, you don't love me anymore. You just don't want me in here. You just want me to go away, and you love the little baby more than me. I said, is that what he's telling you? What is his name? And she told me his name. And I grabbed the mirror. I tied it up in a black cloth, and I took it far away from the house and into a place far away from the house, like a forest thing. And it's really funny because out of nowhere, guys, And God's my witness, 7 cats came and sat on the mirror.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Like
And
real
every time
cats or like
hey?
visualization cats or
No,
physical
actual real
cats?
cats out of nowhere, Mike, out of nowhere. Because
That's
cats
cool.
are gateway guardians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
To the other world, to other dimensions. So they actually sat on the mirror, all 7 of them. And I freaked out. I went, oh my God, what the hell did I have in my house?
Right.
And it took a while to cleanse that room. I took a while and it wouldn't cleanse. And I would cleanse the room. It was so heavy with that energy. So I actually moved the children from that room. We had a 3-bedroom house. I remember my boys were in one room, my girls were in that room, and we were in another room. So what I did, I took my girls actually from that room and I had them sleeping in my room. So whatever was in there was still stuck, and he didn't like the fact that I pulled Hippolyte away from it. So I severed the connection. So he started damaging everything that was in the house. Like the boiler would blow. I had 2 boilers blow up like that in the attic, and there were waters dripping down on the floor, like actually blow up. Half the house will not have electricity for days, and then it'll come back on again. And then I was like, no, you're not going to win. I'm going to win. You know, this is my
Yeah.
house. I was actually renting. I hadn't bought it, but I'm like, you're not going to have me driven away from this house.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. To the point, guys, where there was actually mold out of nowhere coming out of the walls. Green mold, black mold dripping down like blood.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know if I've still got the pictures of it. Unbelievable.
So,
Unbelievable. I
so what
left
finally drew it
that
out?
house. Hey?
What finally drew it out? It just gave
Nothing.
up.
I left the house.
Oh,
And I left the house, and apparently I found out from the neighbors that people in that house never lived more than 3 months or 6 months or 9 months in that house. So, and then I found out the history of the house. There was an old man with a woman in there, and a little child. My daughter was seeing the little child. She was seeing the little girl that she was playing with. It was the actual grandfather that burnt the place down. Half the little girl's face was burnt off. So it's a big history in that house. And a lot of people that rented that house would stay there like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then leave. I stayed there for 2 years. I fought it for 2 years, but it
And
actually made,
didn't
it's
follow.
really funny. Sorry?
It didn't follow or anything. It stayed there.
No. It was part of the house. It wouldn't leave the house. It's really funny because we'll be in the house and we will be at each other's throats. I nearly broke my family apart in that house.
Yeah.
I would leave the house and go for a drive, and everything would be just nice and smooth. We'll be back in the house, and it was like total chaos.
Wow.
So yeah, guys, educate your children.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
And
one thing before I get to Liz's comments was when I was growing up, my parents, before I was born, rented a house in Brockton. And just like you're saying, was only 6 months that people could live there. And when I was like, really? And they go, yeah. And believe it or not, I was like, going, well, this is really cool. And they said on this day of the 6th month, when it was time to move out, to set it up, the owner of the home gave them the only set of keys. The door was locked. All the furniture and clothes was on the front porch, boxed up, nice and neat for them to haul off. And I was like, the spirits packed your stuff up, put it outside, and locked the door behind them. I was like, that is just wild. And I was like, man, and so I find it interesting, like you're saying, people only live there up to 6 months.
yeah,
It seems that seems to be haunted locations. Like a time frame of, I guess, how long the spirits want to interact with people and then kick them out.
Exactly. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. If they get uncovered, it's like it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Next blood.
Yeah. I need some fresh.
Yep, fresh blood.
So Liz wanted to say, what do you think? Because I saw fairies when I was 6 years of age, Catherine. I live in Scotland, UK. And then
Okay.
she says, the fairies came to me for a week and my parents never believed me either.
Especially in Scotland, especially if Liz is in the rural side of Scotland, and being a child, she was so open she could see the Fae people, and and her parents I believe that Liz saw the Fae people and she saw the fairies because fairies do exist. They are there. They live among us. It's just that we don't see them. We used to be able to live with fairies and all the Fae people in the olden days. We're talking about going back the Atlantean days, right? And way back, or in between that era and after that. But the thing is, like us as humans, we use the Fae people. We use anything that scares us. That it may be above us. We try to bring it down. We try to destroy it as humans. So we use their powers, the Fae people powers, as weapons against each other and against other dimensional and other beings in other dimensions. So yeah, Liz, I do believe you did see fairies. Actually, it's funny because, like for instance, we're talking about all that. My granddad, my mum's side, he used to speak to the fairies. He used to go down to the swamp and used to speak to the fairies in the Fae language. Apparently, we've got Fae blood from generations back, through our DNA. But the thing is, he never spoke about it because he was the sheriff of the village. So people would say he was crazy. And I just found, and he had an image to show into the world, into the village, right? So I never found out until 2 years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh.
they used to hide it a lot. So yeah, I believe about Liz.
And she says, thank goodness, Catherine, that you and your family was okay. Catherine, that was some experience.
Oh yeah, it was. It was.
And Reflections of the Paranormal is asking, what are some guidance or exercises you did with your children to help them with their abilities?
Okay. First of all, I taught them how to ground themselves, how to cleanse themselves, how to ground themselves, how to use crystals. Like they've got they've got different crystals, 2 or 3 different crystals. That's all they need, nothing more. This is for protection, this is for grounding, this is for sealing. So I taught them how to ground, seal, protect themselves. Now, when I took them out on their first investigation, that's called the junior team. That was in the Paranormal magazine. They actually did the first investigation. It's called Graceland Manor in Alabama. It is a haunted location, but it's not a very heavy haunted location. So if you want to introduce your children into the paranormal, and you can, as a paranormal investigator, as a mom and a paranormal investigator, I took them on the first investigation in a very low haunted location. I guided them. I walked through with them with everything. If they started feeling a bit uneasy, I took them outside. They did some breathing exercises. They grounded. I grounded with them together. I actually put my oldest daughter, the one that's sick, Iboliti, I put her under the Estes method, and I only left her there for 5 minutes, no more than that, because the Estes method is intense.
It is.
It is. So
it's my favorite method to use.
Oh yeah. So I didn't put anything harsh on her. I only put some white noise because she's an empath and a psychic. I only put the white noise on her. So she was getting music through it. She was getting voices through it without anything playing in the background. But I was next to her listening to what was going on. As soon as I felt her that she was feeling uneasy and she was getting a bit emotional, boom, I pulled her out straight away. I took her outside. My husband took her outside. He grounded her. All you have to do is just remind them, little things, how to ground themselves, how to cleanse themselves, how to protect themselves. If crystals is their thing, let them use crystals. If they want to use essential oils, let them use essential oils. Simple things, grabbing a tree, hugging a tree, taking the shoes off, grounding themselves onto the ground with their feet, naked feet onto the ground. Simple things like that. And of course, nothing else than just a mother's hug.
Aww.
And that's it.
So, Kathrine, we're actually at an hour and 11 minutes.
I know.
That was like the perfect way to end.
Yes.
But I wanted to take a moment, and I know you had wanted to talk about the junior team and that, how it's children and the paranormal.
We can do that another time.
Or you could take a few minutes.
On the next show.
We can do it on the next show. Let the people,
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, teaser for the next show.
That's right.
Exactly.
So, all right.
Exactly.
So,
okay.
Carla, do you
Thank
have any
you.
other questions?
No. It was sure a pleasure to meet you.
Same here, guys. Thank you very much for having me on the show. Thanks to the audience as well. And I'm off to do my morning duties.
We're ready to get into jammies.
Good morning from Grace.
Yeah.
I will say this is about the time when I'm hitting the snooze button on the phone and going 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes.
Yep.
5 more minutes. Yep. And I've got to wake up my other daughter now to get her ready for school.
Well, we are truly grateful and appreciative that you came on so early.
And we'll talk soon, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
That was a good show.
That was a fun show.
Yeah, good show. So what do we have next week?
Next week we have, that's December, right?
That's it should be George and Cara, right?
Yeah, George and Cara Shoplin will be our next guest on the show.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. They will be kicking off our December run, and looking forward to chatting with them and seeing what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And we have another guest, and then we have our Christmas show, and then we have our year in review show that wraps up the year.
So you guys definitely don't want to miss out on December. We are having a lot of fun and a few surprises, so definitely don't want to be missing any of the episodes. And Donna, thank you for following us. We do appreciate it. And we do hope that actually the one thing that I will say about George and Cara show is we will be returning to our normal time slot of 9:00 our time.
Central time.
So this one was an hour later to accommodate our guest from Greece. And so we will be back at our normal time next week. So keep an eye out, and we will see everyone next Tuesday. And let's see, how should we send this one out?
Just thank everybody. Thank you again for tuning in, and hopefully we'll get to see you guys next Tuesday.
And have awesome paranormal adventures. And if you can't have a paranormal adventure, hang out with us because we'll probably have one with you.
Exactly. Good
Have a
morning
good night,
and good
everyone.
night. Bye.
Bye.